Learning can be defined as the acquisition of knowledge or skills through study, experience, or being taught. Learning can also be equated with the increase in knowledge. Increase in knowledge is achieved by building upon previous knowledge, adding new, updating or correcting the knowledge that resides with us. Existing knowledge, created by someone else who had a similar idea, is not enough. As we read, write, and experiment, we set up some conclusions based on our previous knowledge and newly learned concepts. Thus, our conclusions can be the extensions of someone else's idea or our own idea in subsequent work. While presenting our research, we need to clearly distinguish between our own idea and the borrowed ideas on which our research conclusions are based. Your potential readers and reviewers expect you to mention your source of inspiration. Someone's idea is their own intellectual property, not yours, and if you fail to credit the original author, you are considered as guilty of plagiarism. Plagiarism is one of the serious ethical issues in scientific profession. You need to take this seriously, as it can not only discredit your achievements, but also disgrace you in the scientific community, and expose you to financial and legal consequences. Plagiarism is the act of presenting someone's words, quotes or ideas as your own without mentioning the original source of those ideas. It means that you use someone else's work in your writing without giving proper credit to the authors or generators of those sources. As a student or professional, we should be aware that plagiarism is a punishable crime, and we must stay away from citing the source. Your writing is considered as plagiarized if you paraphrase or summarize another person's work in your own language without giving credit to your source of inspiration and presenting as your own. It is not sufficient to give reference of your source in bibliographic notes. The source needs to be credited either in footnotes or in the text where you discuss it. Being a responsible member of the scientific community, you must cite every source in your writing. However, overuse of citations makes your work less original. Your sincere efforts for searching resources may give an impression that your work is a collection of borrowed ideas with no original contribution. In order to avoid any kind of plagiarism, we must be aware about the reasons behind it. Plagiarism occurs, most of the times, unintentionally, and, a very few times, intentionally. Although we are aware about plagiarism and we don't intend to plagiarize, many a times it happens accidentally. Unintentional plagiarism is an outcome of carelessness or inability in rephrasing, quoting, and referencing the source. Intentional plagiarism occurs when you deliberately decide to cheat. That is, when you are aware that you are using someone else's idea in your work but intentionally do not cite the original source of the idea. Let us see some of examples for unintentional plagiarism. The three types: inappropriate paraphrase, improper quotation, and inaccurate citations are shown on inappropriate paraphrase. We know that to paraphrase is to restate someone else's idea using your own words. If you replace a word with a synonym, change the sentence structure while maintaining words from the original source, or just change the word order while maintaining the same sentence structure from the original source, thinking that you are expressing what you understood in your own words or order to paraphrase content, you are unintentionally committing plagiarism. Let us see some of examples for intentional plagiarism. Direct copying and pasting material from the original source and presenting as your own. Mending together passages and quotes from various sources without crediting the authors. Reproducing other person's ideas without acknowledging their sources. Reproducing sentences with same sentence structure and writing style. Which of the following statements are examples of intentional plagiarism? Select the options that apply, and then click Submit. Whatever may be the reasons behind plagiarism, it can be avoided only by ensuring equal awareness among all contributors of scientific community, beginning with the self. To avoid plagiarism, students, researchers, and reviewers should follow the practices such as plan your writing, document sources properly, reproduce quotes properly, paraphrase others' ideas, and cite every source referenced. When you decide to write, keep a draft of your own thoughts separate from the notes you take from the sources consulted during your reading. When you include someone's quotes or ideas in your writing, instantly mark those quotes and ideas, and record from where you picked this up. This will help to keep track of all the sources in successive versions of your writing. The example on your screen demonstrates how you can mark and record information gathered from an internet source. Paraphrase others' ideas. Best way to avoid plagiarism is to practice paraphrasing. Paraphrasing or rephrasing is the act of restating the original idea in your own words without changing the meaning. To start paraphrasing, you should first write important points from the original idea along with citations in your notes. Secondly, without looking back to original context, try to say the idea in your mind and then write it out as a rough draft. Third, cross-check your paraphrase with original text for content accuracy and different sentence structure. Lastly, write the paraphrase text in your draft by acknowledging the original source to eliminate every possibility of plagiarism. Reproduce quotes properly. Whenever you use direct quotes in your writing, put quotation marks around quoted text with author's name mentioned in the same sentence. Also, make sure that you put directly quoted short phrases and key terms in quotation marks.